Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the updated Go Collection from Aer, which is a series of lightweight and packable accessories that are meant to make your trips a little bit easier. This is the type of thing that is meant to be thrown into a larger travel backpack to give you a little bit more capacity or flexibility while you're on your trip. The collection includes a backpack, a tote bag, a duffel bag, and a small sling bag. I've been using the original version of the Go backpack for a while now. It's one of my favorite packable backpacks. I really love the aesthetic, the build quality, the organizational options they provided. It was a really just great thing to use to walk around on my day-to-day on many trips that I've taken. So I was excited to see Aer update the design and add some new features to this, and then to also see all the other items in the collection. I've had a chance to test these out for about a week now, and in this video I'm going to be talking about my experience using them. I'll show you how I've loaded them out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how they compare to some of the other similar items that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, I want to thank the company for sending the items for me to test out. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love talking about popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. The first item that we're going to be taking a look at is the Go Pack. However, before jumping in, I wanted to call out some of the similarities across the collection. Each of the items is going to have, the same modern sort of techie vibe that Aer's products are known for. The silhouettes here have been updated to be a little bit sleeker than the previous generation, so they look great in my opinion. Definitely something that's going to work well in pretty much any environment. And then they all have a newer 210D Cordura crinkle nylon, which helps keep the bags really lightweight and packable, so they get really flat and they don't take up a ton of space in a larger travel bag, and it feels like the material still offers enough durability to be useful while it's on a trip. And beyond that, they all have, really nice Hypalon zipper pulls to make it very easy to get to your stuff, and they have a nice kind of tactile feeling. There's Duraflex hardware and buckles, and you also have YKK zippers all throughout. So taking a closer look at the Go Pack, I really love the updates to the aesthetic here. It just feels a little bit cleaner than the prior version. There's been some updates to the pocketing layout. As far as the capacity, this is still going to come in at around 20 liters, which is a really versatile daily bag size in my opinion. It's a great packable day bag size. When I'm at my destination, it's always nice to have something this size that's going to be able to hold a jacket and other sort of tech gear and essentials that I might have with me on a day-to-day without looking too big. It still maintains a pretty nice silhouette even when it's a little bit more packed out, which makes it great for navigating crowded areas and jumping onto public transit. Continuing along the outside of the bag, I was happy to see that you have two external water bottle pockets, and these offer plenty of volume for a 20-ounce water bottle, which is what I typically have with me. But I do think that there would have been some extra space to place something a little bit larger. As you can see, there's some elasticity here, and the compartment also has a nice depth. And it's nice that because they have that elasticity, they kind of hug the bag nicely when they're not in use. And then on top of the bag, you have a very nice handle here. This is that seatbelt-like material that Aer is so well known for in their handles, so it feels rugged and comfortable even if you're holding it while the bag is a little bit heavier. And moving into the harness system, this is an area that has been improved a little bit, particularly on the back paneling. The straps here are well padded. They have the same sort of breathability and comfort that the previous version of the Go Pack had. It worked very nicely. This is a little bit more robust than many of the packable backpacks that I see on the market. You can see that there's some thickness to the straps, which is what has made this one of my favorite packable day bags to use. And then on the straps, you have a D-ring, which might be good for attaching maybe a hand sanitizer or hanging your sunglasses on. It looks like you do have the ability to add a sternum strap if you wanted to. One is not included with the bag, and honestly with a bag like this, it's probably not as necessary. And then taking a look at the back paneling, I really love that some breathability has been added here. On the prior version, this was just the same sort of fabric that the rest of the bag is made out of, but now you have the same breathable kind of meshy material that we saw on the straps. There's also a little bit of padding, so in general for a packable backpack, this is definitely on the better end of the comfort, and it's just going to make it a little bit easier to wear for a longer period of time, particularly if you're taking this maybe on a hike or something like that. And then you also have a nice luggage pass-through on the back that's going to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling if you don't want to wear it. Jumping into the organizational options of the Go Pack, one of the biggest changes is right on the front. This is also one of the biggest aesthetic changes. Before, the prior version had a compartment that closed. It had a flap with a large buckle. which I actually really like. This change is interesting. I'm a little bit torn. It's nice that you have this sort of dump pocket on the front that's going to give you plenty of capacity for bulkier items that you might want to carry, like a jacket, or in my case, I actually tossed in one of the pillows that I like to have for my neck when I'm on a flight. I've been experimenting with this over the past few months. It's actually been quite nice. I'll link to this one in the description below if you're curious to learn more. And you know, it's just easy to get stuff in and out quickly. You have a little bit more height than the prior compartment, which again, you know, closed, it had a flap. It still had plenty of volume, but it didn't give you the full kind of height of the front of the bag. So lots of flexibility with what you can store here. While you're traveling, you can just kind of toss stuff in. No other internal organization or anything like that. It has this magnetic buckle to snap shut and keep things secured. The thing that I don't like about this is that, you know, if you happen to get caught in some rain, you know, there is going to be water that can get in here and build up. There's not any sort of drainage at the bottom either, it doesn't appear like. So that's definitely something that you want to keep in mind as you're heading out for the day and you're packing this out. At the top, you have a very nice quick access pocket, as Aer always tends to include. Plenty of volume for the items that you might be grabbing a little bit more regularly during the day. Currently what I have in here is my Apple AirPods. Then I also have a portable battery, which are the items that I'm definitely grabbing all the time. We would have had plenty of space to toss in something like my GoPro as well. You can see there's volume there, or my sunglasses with their hard shell case. Anything like that would have fit in there very easily. Moving into the main compartment, this is a top-loading bag, but the zippers come down low enough that you have plenty of visibility into everything inside the compartment. Also, the bag, you know, since it's not rigid, it can open up fairly wide, and it also kind of molds around all the items that you place on the inside, so you don't have a ton of structure, which can be a benefit in this particular case, as it always feels that you can stuff a lot of things into a compartment like this. Currently what I have in this compartment is my DJI Mavic Mini with its hard shell case, and then I tossed in my Beats headphones with their hard shell case. I have the Aer Slim pouch, which is one of my favorite EDC organizers. I have a full-size moleskin notebook, and then beyond that, there is some internal organization. Before jumping into that, I just wanted to showcase just how much this compartment comes up. Again, 20 liters of deceptively large amount of space. If needed, I could definitely toss in a packing cube in here and maybe a dot kit. Use this for a mini trip on my longer trip if I really wanted to. And then on the front of the compartment here, you have just a few slip pockets that have some elasticity and are going to give you some volume and height for taller items. So in this one here, I placed my Ray-Ban sunglasses with their case. They fit in there very comfortably, a good spot maybe for chargers or larger power banks. And then on the one next to that, I have my Tom Bin Ghost Well pouch, which again just has smaller kind of EDC and tech items. On the back of the compartment, you have an additional zippered pocket that's going to have enough space for any items that you don't want falling down into the bottom of the bag that you want to find a little bit more easily. And this has a very high quality mesh material. It's elastic, it feels really durable. And on the inside here, what I currently have is some Band-Aids and ointment. I also have a little manicure set that I always carry with me. And then the last thing on the right here is just a deck of playing cards. And then the last thing in this compartment is a sleeve that's meant to hold up to a 16-inch laptop. Currently what I have in here is my 13-inch MacBook Pro. You can see there's some leftover space at the top, and this sleeve isn't going to offer a ton of padding. It's not rigid or anything like that. It really is just a sleeve to kind of keep your device separated from the rest of the things in the compartment. So I would recommend maybe using a case with this just to give you a little bit more peace of mind. The sleeve is pulled up a little bit off the bottom of the ground. However, because the bag doesn't have a ton of structure on its own, if it's empty and you were to place the laptop down, it might still make contact with the ground. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. Pulling my device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. No sort of fleece lining or anything like that, just the same high quality lining that Aer has used throughout the rest of the bag. Again, it comes up enough so that if you have a thicker device or you want to use a case with your laptop, it should be able to fit in there comfortably. So not necessarily on its own gonna keep your laptop super protected, but it is nice to have a dedicated spot for it. And in general, I just really love the layout and the design that went into the bag. I like the updates, it looks great. And if you're interested in a versatile and comfortable packable day bag for your trips, this is gonna be one of the best options that you can check out. Up next, we have the Go Sling, which has the same materials and aesthetic as the Go Pack in a small and sleek package. I mean, this is a really minimal sling. It comes in at under a liter, about 0.8 liters as far as the capacity, so it's meant to hold your absolute essentials for when you're out on your day-to-day. And this has a simple thin strap that has a magnetic clasp, so it's going to be something that you can wear cross body. You can throw it over your shoulder. You have plenty of length on this strap to wear it however you want. It might have been nice to actually have the ability to remove this strap. I noticed that you can't, because this is almost tech pouch size. If you didn't have the strap here, this would be a really awesome little tech pouch that you could throw into your bag. Thankfully, the strap though is not so robust that you can still kind of treat it as such. You have a nice little handle to also hang this up or to hold it when you don't want to wear it on your shoulder. And so just a really nice slim form factor. Because of the materials, you can see it just kind of molds around the items that are on the inside. Again, giving you a lot of flexibility. You have a nice wide opening zipper, no external compartments, really simple on the exterior. And then on the inside, you can see some of the items that I've stored here. Really, I was, kind of running out of space. If I tried to add anything else, it would have started to be a little bit of a tighter fit. So really keeping things to the most minimal of EDC items that I might need with me when I'm out for a day on the town. So jumping in, the first thing I have here is my sunglasses with their case, which I always have with me. That took up a lot of the volume. But if you don't want to use a case with your sunglasses, or you prefer, you could probably place a little point and shoot camera in here, a GoPro. And then on the inside, you have some nice organization to make everything easy to find. So on the front, you have some elastic slip pockets, again with that nice mesh here that molds around anything that you place into the area. So in this one here on the left, I have my Apple AirPods. Next to that, I have a lightning cable and the power brick in case I need to charge my phone while I'm outside. And then on the other side, you have a zippered compartment that's going to be good for smaller kind of dongles and cables. In my case, I have a little multi-port cable, which is always nice to have with me. And then the last item that I have here on the back, they have this slip pocket, which is probably going to be a great spot to place your phone. If you don't typically like to have that in your pocket, you can definitely store a larger phone in here easily. In my case, I just have, again, the battery bank that I normally want to carry in case I run low on battery during the day. But again, plenty of space here, a really nice simple layout, and then it just packs down so small. You can toss this into pretty much any pocket of a travel backpack and have an additional accessory to pull out for your day-to-day, or even as something that you can use to carry some of these smaller items on a flight and have them easily reachable. Jumping over to the Go Tote bag, again, it's interesting to see how totes are becoming a more popular form of carry these days. We've looked at a few different ones on the channel, and I'm always surprised by how functional they actually are. It's not the form factor that I normally like to carry the most. I don't find them as comfortable as backpacks, and I don't like the aesthetic as much, but I do find a lot of value in this particular form factor, particularly as kind of a beach bag. It's proven to be very, very useful, and the fact that it can pack down into a larger travel bag is something me and my wife have absolutely loved. So same materials, build quality from the other items that we've seen. Jumping into the tote portion itself, it has some pretty long straps, which is very nice so that you can just swing it over your shoulder and wear it, in addition to being able to carry it by the actual tote straps and make it easy to also hang this up if you need to. There's a nice buckle at the top of the straps, which allows you to keep them a little bit more secure, keep things organized, and prevent them from getting caught on anything. So it's nice that you have that for when you're just walking around, or you don't want these to get tangled up with the items inside of your luggage. But so great job on these straps. They feel rugged. They don't have a ton of padding, so if you weigh this down, it might not be super comfortable to carry it for a long period of time, but I don't think that's really the intended use case. I have this empty at the moment, so you can see just how flat it kind of packed down. I figured I'd almost go in reverse and actually load this one out with y'all here. And so before doing so, I'll just kind of take a look at the back here. No sort of padding or breathability or anything like that, but you do have, again, a nice luggage pass-through so that you can pair this with a rolling suitcase. If you decide to fill this up before or after your trip, it doesn't fit on the inside, you can rest this on your luggage. You won't have to wear it around on your shoulder, which is really nice. And then jumping into the actual bag, I'm going to start from the inside first so that I can load this out. A very similar layout to the Go Pack that we saw earlier in the video. So you have slip pockets, you have a laptop sleeve, and then a ton of space, which again could definitely hold a packing cube if I actually wanted to use this as a sort of travel bag. Not typically how I do use these. So the first thing I'll toss in is my laptop into this sleeve at the back. Similar style to the Go Pack, and then it doesn't have a ton of padding. It is pulled up a little bit off the bottom of the ground, Again, because there's not a ton of rigidity, you need to be careful when you're placing your device in, especially without a case, but it does hold a, up to a 16-inch laptop if needed, 15 or 16-inch laptop. You can see there's leftover space at the top, and it does just keep things separated from the rest of the items in the compartment. And then on the inside, I'll go ahead and toss in my Go Sling pouch into the first slip pocket here, and then my sunglasses fit very comfortably into the other one, same capacity. And then diving into this main compartment, which is really just kind of a big bucket of space where I could toss pretty much anything that I would want to. I'll throw in the Evergood Civic Access pouch this time, just because it feels like I have some extra space to play with. I will toss in my headphones, my Beats headphones. I'll also toss in my DJI Mavic Mini drone. You can see at the top there's still some leftover capacity, but that's probably all I'm gonna place in here for now. This has a 17-liter volume, so it doesn't have the 20 liters that the backpack has, but it feels like it can hold almost as much. And then you have a zippered flap here at the top, which doesn't cover the edges. That's something that I thought was interesting. So if you get caught in the rain, you are gonna be a little bit exposed. That's something that you wanna keep in mind. This is just more meant to kind of keep the tote bag closed and secure and prevent, it from becoming unwieldy to carry. On the back of the tote bag next to the luggage pass-through, you have an additional zippered compartment which offers a pretty decent amount of space. What I was using this for is actually my Kindle, which fits in there comfortably. This would also be a good spot for maybe your phone, wallet, some extra cash. It's a little bit more hidden and it probably rests against your body while you're wearing it, so it gives you some peace of mind, but a good spot for my Kindle. And then along the sides, you have two external water bottle compartments, which again have plenty of space for the 20-ounce water bottle that I normally like to use. So I'll go ahead and place that in there. You can see same elasticity, and then the other side can be used for something like an umbrella, an extra water bottle if I am going to the beach. So nice to have one on each side. And then you have the same sort of dump style compartment on the front that has this magnetic clasp to keep it secure, and is a good spot to toss in maybe a towel, jacket. In this case, I'll take a look at this organizer that I have here that I might grab a lot while I'm going onto a flight. Fits in there comfortably. And as I mentioned with the Go Pack, my only issue with this is, again, the rain. If you happen to get caught in a rainstorm, this is gonna get filled up with water. Anything that's on the inside is gonna be a little bit exposed. But it is nice to just have a kind of easy compartment that you can stuff with things that you wanna reach quickly during the day. So a really nice layout all throughout, great design. Really love the functionality. And if you're into more of a tote style carry, or you wanna just have something extra to toss into your suitcase that again is gonna be a very solid kind of beach, pool, or even just everyday bag, and this is gonna be a fantastic option to consider. And then the last thing that we're gonna be taking a look at is the Go Duffel, which to me is a pretty interesting idea overall, just having such a large packable bag. It definitely feels like something that's gonna be very useful if you're traveling somewhere and you're not sure if you're gonna get a lot of souvenirs, maybe some larger items that you didn't plan for. It might be nice to have this to toss into a larger check bag or carry-on luggage. Diving into the duffel bag itself, again, same materials, sort of aesthetic that we've seen on other bags. It really looks great as a duffel in itself. Reminds me of some of the other duffel bags that I've tried out, both from Aer and companies such as Packed. You have the same sort of straps that we saw on the tote bag. So they give you a good amount of length, they feel rugged, they don't have a ton of padding, so this is definitely meant to be, maybe carried by hand as opposed to worn on the shoulder for long periods of time. You don't have the ability to add a shoulder strap that I see, which might have been a nice bonus, but again, just to keep this packable, definitely understand the trade-offs that have to be made. Similar snap buckle here to help keep the straps together, organized and easy to grip. And I really like how reinforced all these straps are. I really feel, particularly with the capacity that this bag has, which I'll talk about in a second, this definitely, I feel, could get pretty heavy, so it's good to know that you're not gonna have to worry about these handles tearing. Speaking of the capacity, this comes in at 35 liters. So this is a, carry-on sized bag. This is the type of bag that you could probably just do your whole trip with if you wanted something super light and simple. I was able to fit this with anything that I would take for at least a week of travel. I could probably get away with even longer. And because the, shape of this is not rigid, it, really manages to mold again around all the items that I have on the inside. It feels like it can squeeze some extra stuff, and it's also nice that it allows it to squeeze into an overhead storage compartment that's a little bit tighter, maybe even under a seat on some larger airlines. You know, it's just gonna really give you a lot of flexibility while providing you with a ton of capacity. And then diving into the organizational options that the bag has, there's a nice variety. On the outside, you have two sort of water bottle style quick access pockets, one on each side. These don't have the same elasticity that we saw on the other bags as part of the Go collection. Still enough volume to hold my water bottle. They actually have a Velcro closure here as opposed to elasticity, so it does keep them together. If you place something smaller on the inside, it could prevent it from falling out. And then you have on the other side, I placed a rain jacket that I've been carrying with me a lot more. It's packable and it fits in there. Again, it's almost the size of a water bottle, so plenty of volume on these, and then they secure with Velcro if you don't want to use them. On the back of the bag, you have, again, a luggage pass-through to allow you to rest this on a larger suitcase while traveling if you don't want to carry it around. And then you have a quick access pocket here. Very simple, no internal organization, just a good spot to, you know, place some of those smaller items that you need to grab while you're on your trip. So in my case, I have a power bank here, and then I also placed my Kindle e-reader. Would have maybe also been a solid spot for my phone or wallet or anything to toss in while going through TSA. On the front of the bag, you have a similar compartment to what we saw on the Tote and the Go bag. A little bit more small, in my opinion. It's not quite as deep as those, as this isn't really that tall in general, but same magnetic clasp and just kind of a simple pocket to toss items into. You can see that it's pretty, you know, tight when you fill out the rest of the bag, but I still had enough space to place my sunglasses with the case. And then I also have a charging cable with a power brick. And then moving into the main compartment, duffel style opening here, so you can place this down and, you know, easily pack this out or grab whatever you need to while you're at the airport. And so I really just started throwing things into this bag to see how much it could hold, and I had placed a lot of things in here. They're bulkier items, and even with everything that I have on the inside, you can see this isn't super packed out. There's still leftover space if I wanted to maybe toss in another pair of shoes, an additional packing cube. It's great to see just how much flexibility this can provide you if you need to take a lot of stuff with you. And so diving in, I again tossed in my Civic Access pouch, which is one of the larger pouches, just to kind of show that the bag could handle it. I have this gravel travel blanket, which is something that, you know, is a really nice accessory to have when you know you're gonna be cold on a flight. And then inside I have my Beats Studio headphones. Again, just picking the bulkiest items that I can. Under that, I have the Aer Dot kit. I have a pair of shoes. These are the Toms that I take with me on every trip. And then the last thing that I have here at the bottom is a larger double-sided and compressible packing cube. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. I like that it has a little bit of a lighter lining to provide you with some visibility, particularly as this is so large and deep. Not a lot of internal organization in this one, not the same pocket layout as the Tote and the backpack, but you do have an internal sleeve here, which might be a good spot for something like a tablet, which is what I have here in my case. I have the iPad mini, which fit in there comfortably. I tried to place my 13-inch laptop in here, and it kind of just created a very awkward sort of shape, and it made the bag tip over a lot. So I wouldn't recommend using this for a laptop, although you potentially could with a smaller one. Another good spot to maybe put some pouches, toiletries, medicines, just anything that you want to keep a little bit more separate from the large volume of the rest of the compartment. So a simple layout, but an impressive amount of space here, a great build quality. It packs down super small like the rest of the items in the collection. And if you need a very high capacity duffel that can also fit into a larger travel backpack for any unexpected trip necessities, this is going to be a great option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the updated Go collection over the past week. You can currently purchase this on the company's site. Pricing on these is probably gonna be between around $50 to $100 depending on the item that you pick up. Aer's products generally offer a really solid build quality and feature set for their price points, and they also compare well to other similar items in these respective price ranges. And so as I was testing these out, they definitely reminded me of some of my favorite packable bags and accessories that I've used in the past. I actually did a roundup video of my favorite packable backpacks, which I'll link to in the description below. One of my favorites from that list is the Tortuga Outbreaker Day Pack, which isn't always easy to find, but it's still one of the best ones in my opinion, as it has just a really weather-resistant sailcloth fabric, YKK zippers. It offers plenty of space, and it's one of the most comfortable packable day bags that I've used. It has a pretty breathable and padded back panel and straps. So if you're looking for something that's gonna, prioritize comfort, that's gonna be one of the best options to check out. The next options these made me think of are some of the options from Matador. We featured a few different packable bags from them, such as the Free Reign and also their Beast 28, both of which are great. I've also been testing out their on-grid packable backpack, which has a little bit more of a minimalist aesthetic as opposed to the more technical bags that they offer. All of them though are very well built. They focus a lot on weather resistance. They're very, very weather resistant bags. I really love the variety of sizes and aesthetics that they offer. They are going to be a little bit lighter maybe than something like the Go Pack, but they're not going to always have the same level of support, protection. Maybe the Beast 28 is really a fantastic packable backpack. It's almost hard to pack down with how robust the harness system is. It gives you plenty of space, organizational options, and so if you're looking for something that's going to be just a little more technical, those are going to be fantastic options to consider. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Bullet Ruck from GoRuck. A little while back, we reviewed the Kaiden Capsule Collection, which was a collaboration that they did with Carryology, and that one had the X-Pack Bullet Ruck, which was a really impressive packable backpack. It got really flat. It offered a pretty robust harness system, a nice amount of capacity, a clamshell style opening. It's a little bit hard to get the Kaiden version still with the X-Pack fabric and the aqua guarded zippers. However, you can definitely purchase the 15-liter Go Rucks in 500D and 1000D Cordura, I believe, on their site, and that version is still going to be a really great packable option. It has the same form factor and capacity. The material is going to be a little bit different, maybe slightly heavier, especially if you go with the 1000D, but it's still going to pack down flat enough to fit into a larger travel backpack, or you can even pack it out as almost like a packing cube. I've heard that hack from some of my viewers in the past, which I really like. So, just a very robust, rugged bag that's going to be great if you're going somewhere where you need something that you can hike with, that's going to hold a lot of stuff, and it's going to have a smaller form factor. That's going to be a fantastic option to consider. With that being said, the updated Go Collection holds up really well against all those options, and if you're just looking for a reliable, sleek, and packable set of accessories that's going to allow you to just have a little bit more flexibility during your trips, I definitely recommend you check these out. And I'm very curious to hear what you all think of the updates that Aer has made to the Go Collection and how they compare to some of the other similar packable options that we've looked at in the past. And if there are any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company again for sending the bags for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.